Solving quadratic equations.
To solve a quadratic equation means to find its roots. The roots, which we also call the zeros, are the x values when the graph crosses the x-axis. So, the roots are the x-intercepts of the graph. Okay, since the value of y is 0 at any place that the graph crosses the x-axis, we can also say that the roots are the values of the x-coordinate when y equals 0. Again, to solve a quadratic equation, you find its roots. The roots are the x-intercepts, the values of the x-coordinates when y equals 0.
There are two ways to solve a quadratic equation, the easy way and the hard way. We'll show you how to solve equations both ways, but here's a hint. When you can solve an equation the easy way, do it.
Easy way? Kids today always want to do things the easy way. Look here, let's just learn things the hard way, okay?
No way! Look, don't tell him, but we'll show you the easy way. Step 1, factor the equation. Step 2, set the equation equal to 0. Step 3, find the values for x. Let's look at how to do it.
Our quadratic equation is x squared plus x minus 6 equals y. Step 1, factor. Here's your chance to show your factoring skills. Factoring is kind of undoing the distributive property, or doing the distributive property in reverse. You can ask yourself, what two numbers multiply to -6 and add to 1? With a little bit of math thinking, we can come up with -2 and 3. Multiply -2 and 3, and you'll get -6. Yeah! Add them together, and you'll get 1. Yeah! Factored then, we get the quantity x minus 2 times the quantity x plus 3 equals y.
Step 2. Set the equation equal to 0. Well, x minus 2 times x plus 3 equals y equals 0. That's saying y equals 0 too, so we just set y as 0. X minus 2 times x plus 3 equals 0.
Step 3. Find the values of x. Okay, these two quantities are being multiplied to each other, and the product is 0. Think about that for a quick sec. The only way you can multiply two quantities together and get 0 is for one of those quantities to be equal to 0. So, that means either x minus 2 equals 0 or x plus 3 equals 0. Yeah. So, if x minus 2 equals 0, what is x? 2, right? How about here? If x plus 3 equals 0, what is x? -3, right? Guess what? We've just found the roots of the equation. We've solved the quadratic equation.
Here's the deal. The roots or solutions to the quadratic equation x squared plus x minus 6 equals y are x equals 2 or x equals -3. If we relate that to the graph of the quadratic equation, we're saying that the x-intercepts are 2, 0, and -3, 0.
Let's solve another quadratic equation the easy way. X squared plus 10x equals y. 3 steps. Factor, set to 0, find the values of x. Looking at this equation, we see that there is an x in both terms of the binomial on the left side of the equation. That's called the greatest common factor.
Let's put that out here. What do you multiply x by to get x squared, the first term of the binomial? X, right? X times x is x squared. Okay, that goes here. What do you multiply x by to get 10x? 10, right? So we put that here. It's a positive x. We have x times the quantity of x plus 10. Yeah, that's the proper factor of x squared plus 10x.
Step 2, set the equation to 0. Well, we started out with 0 on the right side of the equation, and we still have that, so we're good to go. Step 3, find the value of x. Here we are again, two quantities, x and x plus 10, being multiplied together with the product equal to 0. That means that one of the quantities is equal to 0. So either x equals 0 or x plus 10 equals 0. Well, x is 0 here. And if x plus 10 equals 0, what is x? -10, right? We've just found the roots for the equation. We solved the quadratic equation. We found our two roots, 0 and -10. If we relate these to the graph of the quadratic equation, we're saying that the x-intercepts are 0, 0, and -10, 0.
That's the easy way to solve quadratic functions, by first trying to factor. Well, what if you just can't figure out how to factor a particular quadratic function you're trying to solve? Well, then you gotta go the hard way.
That's the way it is in life. If it ain't the easy way, it's the hard way.
Well, what is the hard way for solving quadratic equations? It's using the quadratic formula. Yay, another formula. Look, I'm warning you. The quadratic formula is messy and long, so prepare yourself. On the plus side, it's foolproof. It always works for solving quadratic equations.
Here's the quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all over 2a. There it is, in all its glory.
Here's the quadratic equation, negative 5x squared plus 4x plus 1 equals y. You've tried and tried to factor it, but no luck. Time to pull out the foolproof quadratic formula.
All right, set y equal to 0. Let's identify a, b, and c. The quadratic equation is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals y. So a equals negative 5, b equals 4, and c equals 1.
Let's plug those values into the quadratic formula. All right, we have x equals negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4 times negative 5 times negative 1, all over 2 times negative 5. Keep on working. Okay, x equals negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 plus 20, all over negative 10. Don't stop. X equals negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 36, all over negative 10. The square root of 36 is 6. So, come on, we can do it. Here's where we're mindful of that plus or minus. X equals negative 4 plus 6 over negative 10, or x equals negative 4 minus 6 over negative 10. Almost there. X equals 2 over negative 10, or x equals negative 10 over negative 10. 2 over negative 10 is negative 1 over 5. Negative 10 over negative 10 is 1. So, x equals negative 1 over 5, or x equals 1.
We did it. We solved the quadratic equation. These are our roots. X equals negative 1 over 5, or x equals 1. If we relate these to the graph of the quadratic equation, we're saying that the x-intercepts are negative 1/5, 0, and 1, 0. Man, that was a lot of work, but we did it. We solved this quadratic equation, and we did it the hard way.